just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in with for 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by HHS and aired in cooperation of Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise.
In America. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into The Breeze. I am Harrison Arns here with the host, Haas and DP, as always. A little bit of music change up, Haas. We're going to have to get that cleaned up for you, give you some better audio here, get rid of all these copyright issues we got going on. But we'll get that all settled. Nonetheless, Haas, can you hear me? You're pointing to your ear there. Okay, we're all set here. But yeah, nonetheless, plenty to talk about. There's a sweep. I don't know how much we want to dive into that with the Denver Nuggets and the Lakers. We got the Celtics Heat series. That one's going to go to a game 7, be the first time ever in NBA history if the Celtics can pull it off and win it. And I believe it's over 150 games now that they'd be breaking some records. But nonetheless, bring these guys in. How you guys doing today?
Good. DP, what jersey are you wearing?
I'm DCing this one up, right?
Oh, nice.
This is the Memorial Day, July 4th Nationals Stars and Stripes, and it was either going to go with this or the KC Monarchs. I was in Kansas City yesterday, stopped by the Negro League Museum, and if you have not done that, if you're a baseball fan or a fan of America, just it needs to go high on your list of things to do. Felt every emotion yesterday walking through there. Some great storytelling, great representation. Place was packed. But yeah, a lot of the keepsake stuff, a lot of the jerseys, a lot of the stadiums that they played in, a lot of the stories. But being a DMV kid, I was raised on the writing of Sam Lacy, the late great Sam Lacy, who wrote for, in Baltimore, who would come to DC with these Negro League tours. And I was actually lucky enough to meet, Buck Leonard and some of these folks who stayed late in life and hung out to tell stories. So it was an emotional day. It was very cool. Had a great day. But yeah, I thought I would just lounge around today in a baseball jersey. That was kind of what it was. I did. I have to. I do want to say I have to, in full confession, Hoss. You know I'm a belt guy. You know I'm a belt guy.
You
know
already
I'm
bought it?
I'm a champ. Bought it. I had that sucker sent, man. Listen, I didn't even. I didn't mean
bought it. You already have it.
I didn't have to. I didn't even. I have to full transparency. When they said they had a new belt, I just reached out and I said, "Oh, well, gonna need one of those." And that's the good. The good news, they said yes. The bad news is that they're unavailable till October. They're not available till October, but yeah, it's a really good looking belt. So I thought, let's make the contact early and do that one. So yeah, it ranks. This one ranks pretty high on the list, Hoss. This was great looking belt, great night, great day yesterday. Actually went and watched Night of Champions twice.
Yeah.
And of course it sends you back, the way my brain works is it immediately sends me back before you go forward. But I would rank, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would rank the Bloodline matchup, the tag team title. I would rank that moment in the top 10 of WWE moments ever.
Oh yeah.
Like I would rank that moment more so than Jay, and more so than Sammy and Kevin getting together, going back in time. It took me, like I did the full spin of how many true siblings, true relatives turned on each other and then told the story in long form, not just a one-off Brett versus versus Owen, not Jeff versus Matt, but the best storytelling, even though they haven't given us what we wanted when we want it, what they've given us in the storytelling, I'd say rank top 10. Top 10.
The kick heard around the world. It sparked a lot of emotion, which was weird for me, but it was really cool. I will say the Sami Zayn, if it was Royal Rumble, it was Royal Rumble. That has to be in the top 10 when he protected Kevin Owens and he turned on the Shield. The bloodline.
See, this was the thing. Like, I know that because of social media, it popped in a different way.
Yeah.
But this is the first. Like, you can go back into it. I mean, think about it. Vince and Shane fought at a pay-per-view.
WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, the Bellas fought at a WrestleMania. You can go through. I mean, Owen and Brett ranks really high on the list. Rock and Rikishi being relatives, and that, and then the feigned families, but I guess the third and fourth wheel, because we're already ahead of ourselves, because we already know that the solo portion of this changes all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part, I don't know if you guys caught it. So Harrison, did you watch it? Did you watch it yesterday?
I just got clips and bits.
Okay. So there's a bit in the turn, right? And in it, they broke kayfabe. Yeah, they actually broke kayfabe on the kick because Jay used the name Joe. Instead of Roman, he used Joe. And I said, but wait, I think wrestling fans missed it. Yes, Roman Reigns' real name is Joe. So when he kicked him and he felt that purging, he said Joe. But Solo's name is Joe. So the real twist is when he was calling out to Joe, again, kayfabe broken either way because he got caught up in the moment. Was he talking to his cousin or was he talking to his brother? Like we don't, and like I don't think it was purposeful, but I think it's amazing. Like that's why it ranks higher, because they were so wrapped up in it that they went street, and we now have to ask the question. When he was just purging himself, was he yelling at Joe, his brother, or Joe, his cousin? Haas, what do you think?
So I'm wearing this for a reason, because
yeah.
Triple H definitely put his hands on that pay-per-view. And now there's a year, 2 years of storylines just created from that last battle. So it could be a triple threat tag team match. It could be, what's Solo going to do? What's the other brother going to do? What's the rest of the family going to do? Where's The Rock going to come in? So there's so many things that's going to happen. Is Jay going to turn on Jimmy? Are they obviously going to stay together? So there's just so much that came from that bout. And when I said emotions, you could just tell, okay, I know it's a story. I know it's fake. It's scripted. But Sami Zayn put a lot of whatever into it. And it's like, ha, 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 ha. I'm the tribal chief because I tore up the bloodline. And so there's so many routes to go. And then on the other side, his Shield brother is the champ. So there's so many ways to go with this. And Cody
but Hoss, there's the elephant in the room, is that Kevin Owens is still the guy. Kevin Owens at any point in the anger and fatigue, remember, he sits back and he allows Sami to breathe it all in, and Sami to get all the pop. He allows Sami to do this, and his frustration, you have to remember, his frustration was that this thing was going on in spite of him rather than away from him. And at some point, Sami and Kevin have to split. Now the question becomes, does Kevin jump the fence? Does Kevin jump the fence and go with Roman? Because, look, Kevin doesn't care. Kevin doesn't care. Like, he's the honey badger of all this. He doesn't care. So then it becomes, hey, Solo is Solo the future or Solo now? Is Solo now? Like, is that the next thing that happens? That in this thing, he watches, because his story is the story we don't know. We don't know how he watched Jimmy and Jay. We don't know how he watched Roman. We don't know how he watched all of this go down. We don't know why he watched how he watched Sami. So through all of this, right? Because to me, Solo's sitting back saying, well, I can beat all of y'all. I can beat all of y'all. So I think bravo to the storytelling. Bravo to the possibility. Yes, of course, 100% we're going to be mad at some angle they take in the near future. That's kind of our job. That's why we're here. Like, everybody wants how they want it. But in such a great card, I kept wondering how it was going to be worth it. Like, how it was going to be worth it. And I wasn't sure if they would take the layup, which was Jay. They took the layup, but the selling of the layup was so good that, oh my goodness gracious, y'all did the dang thing. And then the curiosity behind it. And yes, let me say this while I can say this. While I love the new belt, I'm still angry that the actual championship match that should have taken place was in the middle of the card. Listen, if you had put Brock and Cody at the end of this thing, it would have popped just as well, right? For the strap, it would have been the same. Mm-hmm. Like it just would have been. So, and then I'm interested to see what the Asuka story is, more so what the Bianca Belair story is. Like, is she? Yeah, well, she's had her 2-year run, so you gotta give her a break. you also have to put the strap on a heel so that when Charlotte comes back, she's got one to chase and it's not direct. And then what do you do with Trish? Is this an edge run? Like, is this a full-on 2-year edge run? Does Trish have that in the bag? Do you think Trish? I mean, mind you, listen, I'm all for all the Trish. All the Trish. Whatever Trish they given, I'm buying and I'm investing in. But I'm always curious along the way, because I would have thought if you're going to do that with Trish, why not do that with her and Bianca? That would have just popped the roof off of it, but that's just me. Haas, give me some, baby.
So there's 6 main eventers from that last match. That's what we just found out. There's 6 main eventers, and there's so many different permutations you can make with the 6. And that's what's really cool. So that's number 1. 2, putting the belt on Seth allows you to have Monday night be a lot more entertaining. So Seth Cody, number 4. Seth Brock. Seth Cody Brock. There's just so many ways to go that.
I still want Seth Roman.
Well, that's WrestleMania 41.
Right? Like, I still want Seth Roman, right?
That's coming, but that's the 24-month story, and that's why I said I brought that brother up. There's one brother that's there, and maybe somehow Dean Ambrose comes back, and it's a triple threat in WrestleMania 41. So we'll see.
Well, there's so much. So, but what do you do with Sheamus, Gunter? Gunter's never going to be top 10 ever, even with the belt. Like, even with the belt, he's never going to be top 10. Like, you can't put him in the featured event, not with any of those other 8 dudes laying there, or the 2 women or 4 women that are in play. Like, when are you going to do that? Like, Gunter's never going to be top 12. He can't be top 12 because Sheamus, Strowman, Drew McIntyre, he's never going to be top 12, man. Like the women, like he's never going to be the man. He's never going to be Becky. Come on, think about that. Think about it. Look, I'm interested to see. Like, do you do us all a favor? And listen, if you want to turn Brock heel, from heel to face, let Brock decide that he wants the international strap. Like, oh, listen, we'll throw all the money at Brock stalking Gunter. Give me all of it, man. What do you? Am I wrong?
No, I'm down for that. Brock scouting Gunter.
They have some fascination with Gunther and Austin Theory that I just don't get.
I don't. Like, Austin Theory's not. He's second fight of the night. Like, he's not even first. Like, he's not the opening fight. He's like the second one after Becky and Trish come out.
I know you don't like Dom. I think Dom's better than Austin Theory. That's how bad Austin Theory is.
No, here's what needs to happen. Austin and Dom need to have at it. Yeah, like, that's the only way that becomes interesting, because then I'm going to have to make a decision. I'm going to have to emotionally invest in either of them, right? Like, I need for them. Like, it's the only way I'm going to care. Triple threat match. Dom, Gunter, Austin Theory, right? Like, so we could just in the first history of WWE, we'll have a match where everybody gets booed. Everybody gets.
That shows you the power of Rhea Ripley, because in that scenario, I'm cheering for Dom. I want Rhea Ripley to come out and do her thing and just dominate. No.
Well, no, that's her China moment. China moment. Right? That's her China moment where she decides, I'm better than all 3 of you clowns. Like, I'm better than all 3 of you. Look, in a stare-off, think about that. That if they had Dom going through it with Gunter, and then Rhea sticks Gunter, like just sticks him, right? And then she just turns, Dom's there celebrating like he won, and then she just sticks Dom. Throw all the confetti, take all of my concession money. I'm buying everything Rhea Ripley. I'm all in the door. Like, you can have me. Just go ahead and take me.
You brought up an interesting point. So, listeners, 402-464-5685. Where does the kick from Jimmy rank in your biggest oh my God moments? Is it as big as the streak? Is it as big as the streak being snapped?
Okay, so I'm a member of the club that I didn't, oh my God, the streak ending. Like,
you're the only person.
I didn't give it that much. I didn't give it that much. Like, it was okay. Like, it didn't matter. It should have happened. I'm, oh my God, at Big Show and, them tearing down the ring, right? Where you suplex and the ring collapses. That's the screw job's still the icon, because it will never match that again, because we really didn't know what to expect, and we got insight and intel that we had never had before. Like, we had never had that, like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? And no matter what happened, we were just like, what? Wait, did he just spit on Vince? Like, he literally, he punched Vince. Oh,
he didn't punch him. He ran into his fist.
Right. Like, I was just like, Stone Cold, several moments were like, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Mike Tyson.
Hogan.
Mike Tyson and Shawn, or Stone Cold, whatever way you want to. Like, either one of those was bigger than that.
Hogan being the third guy, did that do anything?
Yeah, that's an iconic moment that changed pro wrestling.
Yeah,
like that's the one. I remember
in the last 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember it, but there was the moment where Stone Cold was battling Brian Pillman. And Pillman pulled a gun, bro. He pulled an actual gun. He pulled an actual gun and dropped an F-bomb on TV. And we were just like we were all Macaulay Culkin. Like, what is going on? What is happening? And the USA Network lost it. They were like, oh, no. Like, we're working out where the boundaries are, but that's a boundary. That's definitely a boundary.
How have I never heard about this?
Oh, dude, pulled a gun, man. Oh, my goodness. It was just like, what is happening here? And then the beer truck, and then
CM Punk's pipe bomb.
Foley is 1A, 1B, whatever way you want to do it. Foley, 1B and 1C, because him falling through a ring, from the top of the cage and then being thrown off, and his loose tooth sliding through his nasal canal and hanging out of his nose on live TV. Like, it was like, and listen, to give full credit, JR's call of it still defines the moment, right? That, like, somebody stop this for crying out. This is like, this is enough. He's dead. He's killed him. You killed the son of a bitch. You killed him. So, my God. Yeah. Yeah, so those are the moments that, for me, that you just go, wow, y'all are really, really. I mean, Well, you know what ranks was the night before pay-per-view that they were setting up Vince, and they said that Vince's limo blew up. And so we left the air thinking that Vince was dead. That was the story, right? That Vince was dead because they blew up. You see him get in, and they closed television with the limo on fire. But then Chris Benoit had his thing at the pay-per-view that weekend. And so that next Monday Night Raw, they had to break kayfabe and bring Vince back to just say, wow, and still not knowing. But yeah, that was like, take that storyline that you've been building for 18 months and throw it out the window because Chris Benoit. Like, they literally Vince had to come back. So that one, the blowing up of the limo, people really just kind of lost it because before that, you had car wrecks and you had, I forget who Rikishi hit with the car, doing it for Rock, which led to, I did it for the Rock.
Kurt Angle, maybe?
Yeah, he hit somebody with it. I forget who it was, but that was another moment. And then the blowing up of the limo, and then the whole Benoit thing, and then the day after Owen Hart. So those are the ones that, for me, you just went like that was the television that you don't forget.
And then Haas, you got any real quick here, and then we'll throw it to break.
So, I mean, there's two from the last 10 years. It has to involve a little bit of CM Punk and a little bit of Daniel Bryan. So it's either the taking over of Raw, the with everyone
pipe bomb, baby, pipe bomb,
and the pipe bomb, and so the Yes movement in the ring in Seattle. That was definitely a moment never to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. With that being said, though, we will throw it to break. Keep in mind, Royals at 12:30. So if you want to continue listening to the show, catch us streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as Allo Channel 951. Great way to put a face to the voice as well if you're trying to do that. You got Haas, DP. I'm Harrison pushing the ones and twos. We'll be back right after this break.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonsall Pool & Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this hot deal. Visit our showroom at 33rd and Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at bonsallpool.com. Bonsall Pool & Spa, every day made better.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Can I go to the sleepover?
If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, How would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arns. This is The Breeze. We got host Haas and DP here with us as always. And on the last segment, talking some wrestling. And again, you guys want to join the show, start our Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And you want to watch these streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as Allo channel 951. Tons of ways to engage in the show. Join the conversation. We love to hear from the fans. It's part of why we do this. You guys are part of the show as always, so definitely feel free to chime in. But Haas, you're the host here. Where do you want to go next?
Well, we were talking about great storylines, and we talked about it before, Harrison. The way the NBA is influenced, or rigged is the stronger word, is it's a little obvious. So how did the clock change by that much? And there's no talking about it or like review of it, of slow-mo of it. Like the NBA wanted to get at least 10 to 11 games in for the finals, and they were going to get 8. So they're like, crap, let's just figure this out. And so for them to change the 2.1 seconds to 3 seconds last night, Van Gundy and Reggie Miller would be like, oh, hold on, let's review it. Let's replay it 7, 8, 9 times. And they didn't even do it once. They didn't even talk about it once. Why?
Because it was in the script.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was in the script.
We watch wrestling. We know. We know how this works.
It was in the script. Look, it is a thing that we don't talk about enough. That rule, and I was talking to some folks literally this morning, that it's amazing that rule exists because there's never been an explanation for that rule. Why is there a rule that if you call timeout immediately after a basket, you get to advance the basketball? Like, why does that exist? There's no logic for it. There's zero logic for it. To say, simply by burning a time, if you burn a timeout, you advance. So imagine in football, if you called a timeout immediately after somebody scored a touchdown, you get the ball at the 40 instead of the 35. Like, we would never allow it. We would never, right? If somebody hits a home run, your next batter gets first base. Like that. Like, it makes zero sense. And we never talk about the rule. We just accept it as, well, that's just the rule. No, that wasn't always the rule. And we think back to the Munich Olympics, where the whole debacle with USA and Russia playing basketball, and several stoppages of the clock and immediate timeouts and advancing the ball and yada yada yada. But there's no excuse for it. There's zero logic for it. And then you're right. The 0.9 seconds. One, Miami was so happy to get the 3 free throws because that wasn't the original call. And we know how people think that, we're going to get the 3 free throws. Let's focus on that rather than the 2.1 seconds, because the 2.1 seconds was literally clocked down. They showed it again, and it's not at the moment of the foul. It's the moment of the whistle. And to think that, okay, that 0.9 seconds was everything, because they didn't think it would matter. That's the real answer, is that they didn't think it would matter and think at 2.1, the game's over, series over, pack your bags for Denver. But nope. Gotta do it again. Gotta do it again. Crazy talk, man.
With
me and Haas got into it over the influencers of the game. And then there was that series where the Lakers got swept. It was game 4. It looked like the Nuggets, you were kind of seeing that. The refs aren't going to call it our way. It's pretty obvious. You saw them take the head coach called timeout, just started ripping into him. And you could tell that, that was the vibe. Like, this game, they are not going to do us any favors. You guys have to overcome it and win this game. And then sure enough, the Nuggets find a way to pull through. But then again, like we're saying, we go from 2.1 to 3. I want to turn my head away so bad. It's the worst part of sports to me when this money gets tied into it. I'm really hoping that's not the case. But, man, it's hard not to look at it sometimes and just, act like it's totally within the game, that there isn't anything funny going on. So, Haas, I'll give it to you on that one. I want to look away because it's the ugliest part of sports to me. But some of these games have been feeling pretty sticky with the refs on how they're calling these, especially when you get to the conference finals. It's doesn't ever seem to be, properly officiated the deeper you get into the playoffs. It's just a weird thing. And, I looked at it all last night. I can't figure out where they got the 0.9. I can see what they're trying to argue for it. But like a DP said, if you're doing it on the whistle, that's it. There's no argument, but there they are with 3 seconds. So it's 2.1. Kobe White, just enough time to get a tip in. And here we are with the Celtics. We're down to 0-3, have a chance to break history. And they're going back to Boston. This is the other thing with this team. We always talk about this has never happened. Well, now it's usually because that 7th game is on the road. Boston's going to be at home for that one. So I really don't know, how this is going to go here. But, Haas, I want to get your take on this because, you heard me. I'm seeing some more of the ugly sides in the NBA. The stuff I try to turn my head away from. But when it's blatantly obvious, it can be frustrating.
So with what I've seen in sports and in the scripted wrestling, everything's believable. And I really genuinely thought that 1-0 and 149 was going to change to 1 and 149. I just thought it was with the Lakers. Denver's just that good. Denver is just that good that despite anything, we're just going to have LeBron act like he's 28 years old and play 48 minutes and do what he did in the first half. We're still going to sweep you. So kudos to Denver for that. We don't need to talk about the Lakers. Denver looks significantly better than Boston and Miami. I am shocked by how good Denver looks. Maybe the week off. Hold on. They right now, they look so much better. The week off might change their shooting. They might change their shooting. I thought Miami was
going to a game 7, but keep going. Cut you off.
So I want to give them their props for the 10 seconds. The point I was trying to make is, okay, we've seen the Red Sox come back. I don't know where the bloody sock is. I don't know where Curt Schilling is. We've seen Johnny Damon because he was at I think Game 5. Maybe he was at Game 6. He was at Game 6. So everything is believable. 28-3, believable. Streak over, believable. Everything now is believable. We've seen it all. There's nothing that surprises us in sports anymore. And what's going to probably happen, someone's going to get a 20-point lead on Monday night, and then they're going to lose. That's probably what's going to happen.
I'm going to say this. If Boston wins tomorrow, Boston beats Denver. Like, I'm not even going to lean. I'm not even going to waver. Denver beats Miami. Boston beats Denver. Boston beats Denver. Too many players that do things that are problematic for Denver, and the way that Boston would defend Denver with the bigs. Having multiple bigs who are athletic, graceful, take away some of the mid-range and at the glass stuff that's in play. And you have a player that will look Murray dead square in the eye and not have it. Right. There's no, like, you match up with the two wings and with Brown and Tatum. You just do. Marcus Smart will do Marcus Smart things and will win 2 games for them just by being gutter enough to get into plays that and to be a nuisance to Jokic out on the wing and still get back to his spots on the floor. And I don't think that Denver's going to shoot the 3 well enough against Boston. If it comes to 3-point shooting contest, I lean towards the Celtics. Listen. I thought before the playoffs started that Boston was the best team in the NBA. I thought they were going to be the favorites. At least in my mind, that made sense. And now when we got down to 4, I said in my head, like and Jokic is playing at a high level. He's playing at a different level. But when you've given an elite set of players more motivation, and now they've been to the dark corner, they're not going to face anything as scary as 3-0 in the series. And they could have wielded and folded last night. Like, that was it. That was the opportunity just to go, got our best player, got a good look, rolled off. They hit a 3, we got fouled on the 3. He made all 3 free throws. We got our guy. He got a good look. It rolled in and out. Except there's a player who decided he was going to do everything in his power to the last nth second. That is who the Boston Celtics have become. And I'm not sure Denver has that type of dog. I don't think they have that kind of dog. Now, we'll see what tomorrow plays out. But Denver's been sitting around. It's hard. It is hard to stay razor sharp sitting off a full week. It just is. We know that, Hoss. We've been in that room, bro. We know that it's that week off. We can't match what the Celtics are sharpening their razor right now. The Nuggets will have to. It's just going to be. It'll be an interesting night. I don't know who wins tomorrow. I don't know. I want to say Boston, but I'm not sure.
We'll see if Jimmy Butler can turn it around. I mean, at one point yesterday, he was 3 for 19. And he came up clutch at the end. This isn't the hate on Jimmy Butler segment, because at the end of the game, they leaned on him and it worked. He put him in position to win that game. But, I mean, when the Celtics started, when they got to 0-3, Jimmy Butler cooled off in a big way. And the Celtics have just been chipping away. So it's going to come down to, I think, Jimmy Butler again. We talk about the supporting cast all the time, and you're saying the Celtics are sharpening their tool. Yes, they are. Like, their role players are finally feel like they're really contributing in a big way. And with the Heat, it feels like it's only been their role players contributing. I mean, last night it was really Vincent and Strus carrying that team all the way up until the third quarter, and Jimmy Butler and Bam's playing okay, but really just totally flipped. The role players for the Heat are kind of stepping into a bigger role, and then the Celtics on the other end, they're able to trust on their guys and their stars at the same time. So I think it really is going to come down to Jimmy Butler. Like, he's going to have to be more aggressive. Last night, there's so many times he's cutting to the rim, and he just wasn't even being aggressive. I thought he kicked out to a lot of threes that just felt unusual. And even listening to the commentators, Gundy was all over it. Just couldn't figure out why he kept passing up looks at the rim. He's good at drawing fouls. Even if he goes up there, look for the contact. But it's going to come down to Jimmy Butler. He's got to be more aggressive. Game 7, back against the wall. Maybe we kind of see that dog in him again. It's kind of funny when Jimmy Butler becomes everyone's favorite player, that's always the time he cools off. We got to forget about Jimmy, and everyone just call him overrated, and we'll get the Game 7 Jimmy Butler that everyone hopes to see. But it's been gone ever since he got into the limelight or spotlight, just really hasn't performed to what everyone was expecting. But we'll see. Game 7, I don't really feel good either way, because Jimmy Butler's been inconsistent. Tatum's been inconsistent. Like, we're talking about 2 of these stars here that have been pretty up and down. Jimmy Butler a little more stable, but Tatum, he has been all over the map in terms of the consistency. Brown's doing pretty good. He's doing things outside of scoring. I don't know how many times I saw last night him flying in from the three-point line for an offensive rebound. They do all the small things, but the shooting, Tatum in particular, hasn't been consistent. Jimmy Butler, you can say the same thing. Leaves me at a toss-up. Haas, maybe you feel better about something.
So Boston goes deep. Boston has a lot of talent from 3 through 9, 3 through 10. Miami doesn't, and definitely don't have it on the road. But Miami did win the first 2 games. I think Miami's big 3, which is Jimmy, Bam, and Spoelstra, that's what comes through. So been there, done that, most experienced coach. That's a difference maker. I believe Jimmy's a little hurt. He's not going to make excuses, and that's why he slowed down. The ankle's getting to him. Mm-hmm. Now let's take a moment and step back. What's worse? Losing a series up 3-0. Losing a series up 3-0, or being down 0-3 to an 8 seed, getting it to 3-3, and then losing a Game 7 on your home court. Which one's worse?
I'd say it's going to be worse for the Celtics because
whoever loses Game 7.
Either way.
That's going to destroy careers right there. That's going to need a lot of therapy and just me time and yoga, and that's going to need a darkness retreat like times 10, because that's going to just destroy people.
Oh,
we go to break.
Careers will end, and if the Celtics lose, that roster will not look the same next year.
That was my question. I was going to say, Celtics lose. Brown and Tatum, they sticking together?
Brown and Tatum, yes. Then you get into the Horfords and the Smarts, that sort of conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know. I wouldn't even be surprised if they split those two guys apart. I wouldn't do it personally, but I'm seeing a lot of that. And if you're looking for a big splash, you're looking at Brown to land it. But I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, that's 2 years in a row now. You're in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, you got some scars losing to the Hawks. That's ugly. You never want to do that. But nonetheless, they still got a good roster, and I think people get a little too impatient. But we better go to break here. Again, if you guys want to watch the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo, channel 951. We'll throw it to break. That's Haas. DP, I'm Harrison, pushing the ones and twos. We'll see you guys after the break.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arns here with host Haas and DP, as always, on the breeze. Again, if you guys want to join the show, Starter Hammond text line 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And again, go to theticketfm.com in case you missed any of the morning shows. Great stuff from Pete Ferguson this morning on Bigger Than the Score and Fitness Fanatics, as always. Had someone from text line, Jeremy the Grill Master, joined us this morning. So good stuff there. Always fun to hear from the listeners as well. With that being said, though, we'll throw it back to Haas and DP. We're talking NBA here about what we could possibly see. I know DP said that, surprised me, caught me off guard with that if the Boston Celtics win tonight, he thinks they're going to beat the Denver Nuggets. I'm at a point where it's no question Nuggets all the way. I can't really see a team stopping them. You know, I understand the matchups, but we talk about the matchups every time. Every time the Nuggets play someone new, the matchups. This time it's going to be different. They haven't been slowed down yet. You know, I haven't heard the matchup argument post the series win. You know, it's just no one's been able to match up and stop them. As much as, you know, like we like to talk about it on paper, I just haven't seen it. They've been the most consistent overall. Everyone thought, you know, the Lakers defense was going to, you know, stump them. Now, that's the only sweep in the whole NBA playoffs is the Lakers. So I have yet to have that argument work in favor, you know, against the Nuggets. They've pretty much answered the bell. Been consistent pretty much the whole way through. Yeah, there's quarters here and there, but then you watch Jokic or Murray explode in the fourth quarter. To me, Nuggets are a heavy favorite, and I think it's getting, you know, further and further away from being close. I'm really just totally bought in on this Nuggets team, and Jokic being the best player in the world right now. I don't even think that's close. I really just heavily believe everything's leading in favor towards the Nuggets.
I don't see who's going to guard Jaylen Brown. Who's going to guard Tatum?
You're looking at Michael Porter Jr. You're looking, you know, at all your guards. You got to figure out
guard Brown.
No, the last time they played, and they shot terribly. The Nuggets won the last time they played, but it may have been the worst game that the Celtics played all season. And the previous 2 years, the Celtics matched up well against Joker and the Nuggets. Matter of fact, beat them by 20 in Denver a year ago, with literally the same lineup, except for a healthier group. The last time they played, the Nuggets won. This was early in the season, but they still didn't have an answer for Tatum or Brown.
I think, when you're looking at a guy like Tatum and Brown, there's still going to be a threat. But I'm in the camp that how are you going to guard Jokic? You know, you talk about size there, but I mean,
did you watch last night's game? Did you watch last night's game?
Yes.
Okay, so you're seeing those two bigs that they run in rotation, forcing Joker to go downhill, which is a thing that he doesn't want to do, and to take away those easy buckets at the rim that Denver counts on to you know, cross the bridge. Those shots that Denver likes aren't going to be available. Like, Denver's going to have to shoot lights out. They're going to have to shoot three.
You better stand up for yourself. You're going against a 2-7 with just a lot of emotion. Joker is going to destroy Boston. I'm sorry. There's no way Horford and what is it? Williams is going to do anything on him. No way. Because he does whatever you do, he'll do the opposite. You physical him, he's going to finesse you. You're gonna double him, he's going to pass. He's going to make these shots.
No, look, if you're counting on those shots, then...
But he made them like 5 times in a row. That's why the Lakers lost.
No, that's not why the Lakers lost. And you know that's not why the Lakers lost, so that's okay. I get the big defensive about it and the reality that they did what they did to the Lakers. But the reality is the Lakers aren't the Celtics. They're not. They haven't been all year. When you look at the top of that ranking, look, the Celtics matchup. Look, I'm good with the Celtics matchup. I'm also good with the coaching. I'm good with the coaching because there's a dude I would ride with. And again, I'm not saying they get through tomorrow night because they shouldn't have. They have problems, but what Jokic does against everybody, he'll do against the Celtics. He'll average a triple-double. But if you're counting on the other wings to give you 25 plus points, which is what's going to be required for you to beat the Celtics, you're counting on that in the moments of pressure. Look, Celtics have been here before. Nuggets ain't never. That's brand new deep water for them. Look, it's one thing to do what you do when it wasn't expected. But look, for the first time this year, they'll be expected to beat a legacy program. The first time this season, they'll be expected that there's actual pressure and they're going into water they haven't been in. Look, the dudes who have played in these scenarios sit with the Celtics. If it's the Heat, this is why I said if they play the Heat, it's two teams in new water. Cool, do your thing. The Celtics, this ain't new to them. This is not new to them.
It's not new to the Heat.
Yeah, they were in the bubble with the Lakers.
Okay, but how'd that go?
They took it out.
Game 6. That's not bad.
But here's what I'm saying to you. If I'm relying on back against the wall games, which is what the NBA Finals are, one team is better at it currently than the other. One team has been through shark-infested deep water. One team has literally cruised because the teams around them didn't know who they are or how they were going to play. Boston knows how it's going to play. Boston absolutely knows how it's going to play. They are who they are.
Boston's gone through JV teams, so they haven't even been battle tested. Miami doesn't look that good.
This is the battle test. The battle test of having the entire world watching you down 3-0 and you figuring out a way and finding out a way how to eliminate mistakes, basic level mistakes. That's what the Celtics are doing. The shooting is irrelevant. They're doing basic back cut at the highest level. They're doing basic, hey, we're going to take away crossing passes across the middle. They're defending at the rim. Those are things that when you're less talented, you do against really talented teams. Hoss, we've been in those rooms. We've never had the most talented team. But we said, if we don't beat ourselves and we take away the base level things, teams like Denver will struggle. Denver's not undefeated this year. They're not undefeated. There's a way to beat them. Several teams have done it. The numbers don't lie. They had a great year. If you said that Jokic was the best player, okay. But if you need 35 points in a game, would you take Tatum over Jokic?
I'm taking Jokic.
I'm taking Jokic.
It's not close.
I tell you what, I'm willing to go on that, Alan, with you too.
I'm a Duke guy and a Kobe guy.
You heard what I said. What I said in the NBA finals. In the NBA finals, if I need buckets, I'm taking Tatum over Jokic.
So here's the difference.
Go ahead.
Hold on. So Boston hasn't even played in the big arena yet. They've been the second card on the pay-per-view. They've been the second match. They've never been the main event. They don't know what pressure is. They haven't played a big game.
According to who?
According to ratings. Denver's matchups against Phoenix and Lakers, those were must-watch TV. Beat Philly, whatever. Miami, whatever. Those weren't big games.
3 consecutive big games. 3 consecutive big games by themselves. The only game in town.
They did what they're supposed to do against the team with just one player.
And Denver did what they were supposed to do against the Lakers. Who was the higher seed? Have they upset somebody? Are they playing in water that they haven't played in? They did what they were supposed to.
They'll do it again in the finals. That's where I'm at. I'm just the best player in the world right now. I'm falling in love with this Nuggets team too much, but every time I hear the matchup stuff, I go crazy.
Because it's new and shiny. It's the new girl who moved in next door. I get it. Everybody's
it's not new and shiny. I've been watching
It's new. It's new. The Nuggets ain't never been. Tell me the last time the Nuggets were in the finals.
I said the same thing about the Western.
When was the last
Conference
time? When was the last time Joker was in the finals?
Never. It's the first time.
Okay. Shiny and new. Thanks. We're done.
Oh, you know what?
If you replay what I said about Jokic and Denver 2 weeks ago, I said literally all the same stuff.
And it's the same thing I told you. I told you about the Lakers. I don't know why y'all still question me. When I tell y'all, when I give you, I don't know why you question. Look, I literally called the season, and y'all ain't paying attention. Like, okay.
We'll see.
I'll see you next week after game 1.
Yeah, Celtics. Well, Celtics got to clean it up tonight or tomorrow. That's first things first. They got to win tomorrow. We all pretty much
They
agree.
won't.
We don't know how we feel about how that's going to work. So we'll see that first. But I'm telling you right now, if it goes to the Nuggets Celtics finals, I don't care who it is. It's Nuggets. Probably in 6 games, but we'll put a pin on it here. Again, you want to catch the old podcast, ticketfm.com. We'll have this one up here shortly, probably around 1:30 or so. You can catch the full Breeze podcast as well as social clips. Go to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff, all good stuff from all the morning shows, night shows, all on there. Again, thank you guys for listening. That's Haas, DP. I'm Harrison. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.